Michael Douglas here. In brief, Phil Collins is finally doing what he should have been doing, or what he should have done a long time ago with his biggest hit album, No Jacket Required. In February of 1985, he released what has become the most successful solo album in his career, No Jacket Required. Now, he's about to release a 40th anniversary edition of that classic album, coming out in September of this year, 2025. Now, the expanded edition will be called or retitled No Jacket Required Fully Tailored. And it's pressed on 180-gram vinyl, and it features the original album remastered, a variety of B-sides, non-album singles, live performances, demos, rare tracks, remixes, many of which will be released on vinyl for the first time. The live performances were recorded at various concerts during his 85 tour all the way through 1997. And among them is his rendition of Long, Long Way to Go from the Live Aid concert in London on July 13th of 85. And Phil Collins is famously remembered as playing both Wembley, London, and Philadelphia, two different shores on the same day at that historic concert. So incredible. And actually, I'm not covering it on this episode of Dr. Pundit, but the Live Aid concert will be rebroadcast in its entirety online at its 40th anniversary later this month on July 13th. The box set also does a stripped-down version of his hit single One More Night, which also hit number one the same week the album No Jacket Required hit number one in March of 1985. It'll also include a song from White Nights. That was the movie that gave us Say You, Say Me, a number one hit by Lionel Richie, but also a number one hit by Phil Collins and Marilyn Martin called Separate Lives, that roughly came out around the same time. What you see a lot of these artists doing is including contemporaneous hits that were not released on their original album, maybe on a soundtrack at the same time, putting it on these deluxe reissues. And the last example I can think of is Olivia Newton-John's Physical album, where it got a redo a few years ago, an anniversary redo, and it included her greatest hits album tracks, a track called Tied Up from 1982, and Twist of Fate from a movie of the same name. I really can't speak to the soundtrack, but in 1983, Twist of Fate was a top 5 hit. And again, these two tracks weren't included on her Physical album, but they were later included, like I said, on the anniversary redo of the album. No Jacket Required was Phil Collins' third album. He'd become a popular solo artist after establishing himself, releasing Face Value 4 years earlier in 1981. And in April 1984, he got his first number one hit on the Billboard Hot 100 with Against All Odds from the film of the same name. But it was the ballad One More Night, which basically threw him into the stratosphere, which hit number one the same day the album No Jacket Required hit number one on March 30th of 85. Now, No Jacket Required spent 7 non-consecutive weeks at number one on the Billboard 200 album charts. It also topped the UK pop album charts for 5 weeks in March and April of 1985. And the album yielded a number one hit, a second one, which was the third overall for Phil Collins, called Sussudio, a track which also hit the top 10 on the Hot R&B Singles and Track chart that year. So a big hit on black radio stations as well. He followed that up with the hits Take Me Home, which hit number 7, and Don't Lose My Number, which hit number 4. Phil Collins won 3 Grammys for that album in 1986, Album of the Year, Best Pop Vocal Performance Male, and Producer of the Year he shared with Hugh Padgham, who co-produced the album with him. And of course the album went on to sell more than 12 million copies to date in this country. Why don't we check out kind of the trailer for this album release? So pretty exciting stuff. Phil Collins releasing a long-awaited anniversary redo of the number one hit album, No Jacket Required, later this fall in 2025 here. And I'm Michael Douglas. This is another In Brief on the channel. Please watch out for further full episodes right here on Dr. Pundit.